saddle up. If this thing goes down, Dakota, you're flying it, all right? Because you're passenger princess. Right. Did you eat my cheese? You ate my cheese sandwich. That tested my prayer life.
The whole time I'm sitting in the back eating popcorn, just watching all this happen. Hey, this is the cornball police.
Hello, you have reached in. Oh, that's a bad Australian. I'll freaking listen to it till it dies.
When it's 3:30 in the morning, this man wants to watch Love is Blind.
We just went where the Lord took us. Oh, you want to see a funny picture? Dude, these are my guys. You got a nice picture of Mike Winger, Craig Rochelle, and then this guy, he does like apologetic stuff.
And you're with
and
him.
Then me. Am I sitting there just a hero of the faith or what?
And you're doing something like dumb, like spinning around, upside down, going around, and
it kind of hurts.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to the one. Oh! That song turns a 3 into a 10. To the only.
Like she ate a whole cow and just...
Coda's Crib podcast.
And you heard the donkey just...
I'm more afraid of lions than Asians.
So at what point are we taking innocent chicken lives?
Welcome back to Coda's Crib podcast, the number 4 podcast in the world. Available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. One thing that we haven't said recently is make sure that notification bell is on. That is important. 98% of people who watch this pod are not subscribed.
We're going to be one of those guys.
Can you believe that?
We're going to be one of those guys.
Can you believe
98% of y'all are not subscribed.
Yeah,
so
no.
please subscribe.
I just got that stat off the dome piece because, but yeah, you watch a video and everybody's like, the majority of y'all guys, 90. I looked at the analytics just last night.
And they put the analytics on there.
97%, which I'm not going to lie, that is so true because most of the people I watch consistently, I ain't subscribed to. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, but that's terrible. And I'm changing that. So y'all change it with me.
The only people that are subscribed are our grandmas.
Yeah. So let's fix that.
Let's do it.
And we can do that. So yeah, but ready to hop into another one. So long awaited. Pod tried to get some stuff going and it's tough, but
it's tough out in these streets.
We're gonna start a new little segment right off the bat. It's gonna be called "What is the Song of the Week?" That is just a baller song out there right now. Song of the week.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start us off with dude, Names by Ben Lane. Okay. And Essential Worship. Have you heard that?
I know Essential Worship. I don't know.
Dude, I don't either. I just found it this week. That is the song of the week for me. Just an absolute bop of the week. I'm putting it out there. You got to listen to it. It's a bop.
That's amazing. Essential Worship, they do a lot of like things with artists and like, hey, this is their new song. Go listen to it.
Are they like a lot of acoustic stuff?
Yeah. Okay. So so mine would probably be it's an old Hillsong song. So Hosanna.
Okay.
So, Palm Sunday's this Sunday and stuff. Like we're doing it we're doing it this Sunday at my church. And I was like, dude, this is a banger. It's a throwback.
Dude.
It came out in like 2007. Right when I was like, 3-4 years old. And so, man,
I mean,
it's a banger.
I gotta give it to you. You are always like you always got the songs. What do you do? Like, do you just listen to like everything?
I always got the songs.
Like you just always know every song. Like I mean, obviously you're a worship artist, so you got to keep up to date. But like, or worship leader, so you got to keep up to date. Yeah. But like, how do you get all the?
I just try to stay in the know because I feel like the more you know, and the more you try to like feed into your brain, the more knowledge you can have to teach others. Even like, and also like, you have more tools that you can pull from. If you know more. So I just try to, but I try not to let it pass over like the my heart of worship. That can definitely be a thing where like you put too much emphasis to learn the song or the guitar parts or whatever you're playing that Sunday, and it's like you miss the whole heart of worship. And so I've definitely been there. So learned my lesson on that one.
Yeah, no, you just always I try to come up with a new song. Brother, listen to this one. I've already heard that 5 times. It's on repeat. I'm already tired of it. It's like, dang, dude.
Whatever,
I wanted to show you something.
You said Chick-fil-A. I got Chick-fil-A today, and it reminded me of a story.
Oh gosh.
Me and my dad. And
yeah, that was a great.
Do you remember the story?
Oh, I
want to tell it or me?
Dude, I want to tell it.
Okay, you
unless you want to.
No,
tell
you got it. You got it,
dude. When your dad and it was so funny. So we're going to fly. Your dad's a pilot, so we're going to fly out there. And Ryan, I'm sure it's probably still close to the heart for him. So this might be a little tough to hear as you're watching this pod. But we go and he called you and was like, hey, do you want Chick-fil-A? I'm grabbing Chick-fil-A before we go fly. We were just gonna like fly to Stone Mountain or something. He's like, what do you want from Chick-fil-A? Tyler
No,
goes,
we were going to a baseball game.
oh yeah, we're going to a baseball game. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, before we go, you want Chick-fil-A? I'm going to Chick-fil-A. And Tyler's like, yeah, hey, I'll take a number one, just number one, plain, with fries, sweet tea. It's like, okay, awesome. He's like, Dakota, you want anything? I had just eaten, so I'm like, I'm good, I'm Gucci. And so then we go and we get to his little plane. He's got to do all his things to get it ready, put fuel in it, check everything so we don't die, all that good stuff. And then he's sitting there and he gives you the food bag because we got there. He got something, you got something. He gets the food bag, gives it to you, and so you're like chowing down
While he's doing all
yeah,
his
while
checks,
he's
right.
checking the fuel, all that good stuff. And so then we go and he gets it all ready. He's like, all right, boys, saddle up. If this thing goes down, Dakota, you're flying it, all right? Because you're passenger
That's right.
princess. So if I go down, you fly it, land it, all right? Like, get there. So then I'm sitting there, and before you know it, you'd already eaten, you were fulfilled.
I was ready.
And so he finally gets going. We lift off, take off. He's just cruising. He's like, all right, Tyler, I'm ready for that sandwich. Can you give me that sandwich? So you give him the sandwich, and it's just a regular sandwich that he gets. He goes, are you kidding me? Where's my cheese? Tyler, did you eat my cheese? You ate my cheese sandwich. Yeah. And Tyler goes, I thought I had the cheese sandwich. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, how could this man think he has the cheese sandwich?
Yeah.
You just ordered a number one.
Yeah.
Do you not see? Oh, I have cheese on this. This isn't right.
This is what. No. Let me explain. If you're watching this, so I ordered a plain sandwich. I'll give you that. All of it was my bad. I'll take mine because it was my bad. But I ordered a plain sandwich, and so the first one that I grabbed, I thought they messed it up and they added cheese, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't really care. I'll eat it. I didn't think that, oh, my dad hasn't eaten yet. You know, that could be his. And so that was just the first one I grabbed. I'm like, hey, let's go. And so I eat it, and then it was just
I forgot to
downhill from
say the funniest part of it all is we're sitting there on the airplane. So we're sitting there like on our headset. So it's all like, Tyler, did you eat my sandwich? I thought it was mine. Are you kidding me? I thought it was mine. It just had cheese. Are you kidding me? Where's my cheese? So no, that was all great. No, I had to go in. So
Anyways, you saying Chick-fil-A, that reminded me of that.
yeah, no, that was hilarious.
I
I do
throw that one in
remember.
there.
That was the best part. Are you kidding me, Tyler? Yeah, no.
And sometimes it wouldn't pick up, so
Yeah.
you would only get half the sentence.
And then you're seeing him just like, Tyler, are you kidding? And so it's just like it was so funny. No, but that was great. That was great.
Hey, it beat the 2-hour drive. So
yeah, it really. I mean, it wasn't too bad. But on another note, now that you say that, I got another funny story involving the plane. So the first time that I went on a plane ride with y'all. So here's the deal. Let me take you back to this. So I'm sitting there. I'd never flown before at all. No commercial, nothing. Never flown at all. So you're like, hey, my dad just got his pilot's license. Let's go fly. I'm like, all right. I knew it was going to be like a smaller plane, like because your commercial, you don't feel it as much or whatever. Just like cruise ship, bigger it is, the less you feel it or whatever. So I was like, I've never done this before, but I was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like asking my mom, like, what should I do? Like, what if I get sick? And she's like, take some Dramamine. Well, I meant to grab Dramamine and take it, but I forgot. So I'm like, oh, crap. I'm just sitting here like, I don't have nothing. So I'm sitting there and I'm going and we same thing. Your dad gets the plane ready. He's like, never flown before? Oh, we're going to have some fun. We're going to fly to Stone Mountain and back. It's going to be a good little time. And so we're sitting there and we go and it's all good on the front end. We're getting ready. Okay. Then we're going lift off. We go. We get lifted off. Okay, we're chilling. We're going. At some point, the door, I didn't close it good enough on the way in, so I didn't close the door in. And so as we're just kind of cruising, the door like just slightly opens, like it's like just a little crack, but it's slightly open. And then it's open and you can just kind of like, you just feel it and the wind's just going like you're still safe because it's like it's hatched in, but it's not fully closed.
yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, I was scared as junk. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to die. I mean, I have my seatbelt on, I'm fine. But then your dad is like, oh, it wasn't close enough. So he's like leaning over, trying to like close, like,
mom
can't get it. Getting mom barring me, just can't get it. And he's like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah. Well, this is my first flight ever. I'm like, oh God, I'm about to fly out the door. Freaking have to be skydiving without a parachute. I'm about to die. And then right when that happened, I got so freaking sick. I got incredibly sick. But then I was like trying not to show it, and I was like, just God, please. That tested my prayer life. That was one of the like most strenuous prayers I've ever had in my life. I kid you not. I'm sitting there just like, God, please let me land safely. God, please just be with me. Do not let me puke all over his new plane. Please do not let me puke all over his plane. Because this was recently onto his like being able to fly by himself. So I'm like, please do not let me puke on his new plane. And so I'm sitting there, and then the worst part though is then your dad's like, hey Dakota, look, it's Stone Mountain. Look, it's Stone Mountain. So I'm like, it's worse when you look out the window. So I'm like, yep.
That's amazing.
It looks good. So I'm like looking over with eyes closed. It looks great. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we fly over where we played baseball at the time. So they're like, look down there. It's our baseball field. It's our baseball field. And I'm like, ugh.
Dude, one of the things he does when he's showing people, he'll like tilt the plane over on their side so that they can look kind of down it a little bit. And so he's like, oh. And the whole time I'm sitting in the back eating popcorn, just watching all this happen.
Dude, and I was playing it cool. I wasn't like, because I was like, this is my first plane ride. And he knew, he's like, what a first plane ride, right? And I'm like, God, I am just so glad that my feet are on the ground and I am safe.
You gonna kiss the ground?
Yeah, that tested my my prayer life, but it just
That's
be
amazing.
like I forgot about that until you brought up the plane. That was my first plane ride experience. So
Hey, that's amazing. But then you didn't stop there. You know, you overcame that. You went a second time, and then I was the one in trouble eating the salmon.
yep.
So
ate salmon. I went again, took some Dramamine, and was totally good.
Yeah,
So it's
great.
just how it goes.
I don't mean to you know, that was our dad. You know, talking about our dad. I don't mean to talk about my mom now, but like I think it needs to be said. Because one of these things, it just, not even just my mom, anybody that does it, it gets me so mad. And so say I call my mom or call somebody, and they use that custom like chat, the custom like can't talk right now, question mark, or like can I call you later, question mark. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When you can cut, and I'm like, I hate those like 5 different ones you can choose from, and they just, because I know what they look like when they text that to me when they can't talk on the phone. And every time I see that, I'm like, dude, can you just hang up and don't say anything? I would much rather you do that than send one of those 5. My mom does it all the time, and I hate it.
Yeah, my dad's is the famous "I will call you in a minute."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his go-to. You call him and straight to voicemail. Hey, this is Kevin. And then you get a text 2 seconds later. I'll call you in a minute. Yeah, I've heard that one about a million times. So what do you do if someone calls you and you have to send them voicemail? Do you do a custom one?
No. I cut like when they call me.
Yeah, like if you call them and you can't answer, what do you do?
I'll text them if it's important, or I'll just wait till they call me back, and then if they don't,
See, but you don't have your voicemail set up, which is
that
very
is true.
toxic.
Yeah,
Very
but
toxic.
but then
You
nobody
have
can-
reached the number of 678-894-2244,
That's
and
not
they
my
do
number.
not have a set up voicemail. Bye.
That's not my number. Don't call it.
No, that's not his number, but yeah, it goes like that every time.
Maybe I do need to set it up. I remember when I first got a phone that my parents told me to do that, but I didn't.
You don't even have to and you don't even have to have like your voice on it.
Yeah.
You can just turn it on.
Yeah.
And it'll say you've reached the voicemail box of your number, and then it'll say now leave your message after the beep, and it'll beep.
Because when I look to retrieve a voicemail,
Yeah,
first
all you gotta
set
do
a
is set up.
password and agree.
Because dude, what's it? I mean, you gotta be able to set up a voicemail. I mean, voicemails are essential. I leave those all the time. Like, hey brothers, call me back. Bye.
I just thought of this. So you know McLean, right?
Yep.
Can you imagine? His voicemail. I never heard his voicemail, but it's probably like, "Hey, this is the cornball police, and you can't talk right now."
No, I'll tell you exactly what his voicemail is because I called him the other day. He changed it to where the Siri that's on the voicemail is like a male Australian guy.
What?
So it's like, "Hello, you have reached the." Oh, that's a bad Australian. But anyways, he had like he changed the Siri voice instead of just saying like the regular standard voice is a different one. I don't know how the heck
I
he
didn't know
did
you
that.
could do that for a voicemail.
I didn't either, but he does. All these young guys in tech and all that. Speaking of that, I wasn't gonna bring this up, but now I have to. I met with somebody trying to sell him some church insurance this week, and speaking of tech, old guy, and not too handy with the tech world. That's fine. That's why I'm here to help guide him through.
Yeah, it's your job.
He said, hey, the number you have, number that I called you on, that's my home phone number connected to the landline. Landline.
Who still uses those?
Okay, yep, exactly. So it's connected to the landline. I said, okay. He said, he pulled out one of these things like it's like a ticking time bomb. He's like, I have one of these things. That's a cell phone. Yep. He said, I have one of these things, but I don't even really know how to use one of these
Yeah.
devices, and quite honestly, I don't even know my phone number. I was like,
gosh, yeah, we're screwed.
I said, I've never heard that one, so congratulations to you.
That's a first for me.
That's a first. I've never actually had to go and search what someone's own phone number was.
Yeah.
And so then
Wait, he gave you had to do it on his phone?
So then he's like, if you can find it, here you go. So then I take his phone. I'm like, quite honestly, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first time I've ever done this. I said, so I was thinking, where would I find my own phone number?
Yeah.
I've never thought about that one. I've never had somebody say that. So then I went to my settings, and you go to phone, and then it'll say like my number. But I was like, wow, he made me think about that one. But we got it all solved out. But all that to say that some people just aren't handy with the, with the tech.
It's quite the opposite of somebody young. You know, they just press buttons, don't really care, and then they figure out what happens. But honestly, that's probably the way it should happen. Like the way you should do it. Like just press it, see what happens, and if something bad happens, you know not to do it again. But then the old people, you know, they're quite the opposite. Like just like you said, that they have no clue. They're born in the 1800s. They don't know what to do.
Yeah. You think you could go without using? How long do you think you could go without using your phone?
I went for like a month without it that one time.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
What about like
now?
But
I feel like I use it all the time. Not for like I use it to communicate like for church or school or like whatever.
Yeah, it is so like essential that like it's hard to say like, oh, how long could you not use a phone or whatever.
Everything's like connected to it now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically like a little mini computer. But it is nice like when you like sometimes when you like accidentally forget your phone or leave it, and then it's like you don't have it, and then you're away with it for a while. It's kind of nice and refreshing that you don't have to worry about it. Because I get bad at scrolling.
Because and that's one good thing about the cruises. Like when you go on cruises, you don't really have service. And so unless you have a parent that buys a Wi-Fi package. But you don't have any service, and so you go the whole time like just talking, like just on your phone, like whether it's playing a game, you're on vacation. You don't have to do much. And so it's kind of nice. But then when you get back, your phone starts blowing up. Yeah.
The only thing that I really like. The only thing other than obviously the contacting people and everything that's essential for me is Spotify. I gotta have my songs.
But that's why we downloaded playlists.
Yeah, so I downloaded it. So I had my songs the whole time. So I didn't really like I just went on a cruise Thanksgiving. I really didn't need like that much other stuff. I was just kind of chilling with Spotify.
One thing that really, speaking of Spotify, one thing that really gets me that this guy does. Well, I don't know if we said this on the pod. He is on our family Spotify plan. And so, and one thing he does.
Thank you, by the way. The Lowe's. That is very gracious of you. Thank you so much.
And so the one thing he does is like, and some of y'all probably do it, is like, or if y'all like a song or like y'all hear it, like, man, that's a great song. Y'all will like it. And then it goes to y'all's like playlist. And then you have like a plethora of different kind of genres and everything. And I hate that. Like, why don't you just, add it to a playlist?
Because, okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Because on Spotify, you can like all your songs, have them one place to songs of like, that you've liked at one point and were like hitting at that time. And, you're relatively gonna like that song. But then within your liked playlist, at the top, there's all categories of your liked songs. So then you can go and put worship. All your liked worship songs will come down. You can go country. All your liked country songs will go down. All your liked whatever, chill,
and it makes
sad,
sense.
Pop.
It makes sense. Now they didn't have that update when he first joined, so it wasn't like that. You can't just pick a genre. Now I get it kind of, but still, I need to play.
I'm also a guy though that I just will listen to something on repeat. Like I get a song that I really like. I'll freaking listen to it till it dies. I'll listen to it 150 times, and I'm on to the next thing. So I don't really I rarely will go shuffle through a bunch of songs, or if I do, I just search up like country bangers or like white girl bangers, like just something that's gonna be that just hits.
Dude, white girl bangers.
Dude, I gotta tell this. I was at camp last summer working, so I'm doing my thing. We're on the road a lot, so we're bringing camp to a bunch of different churches. We're on a road a lot in 12 passenger vans with the whole squad, whole camp team. There's like 15, 18 of us. And so anyway, so there's a lot of car time, a lot of travel time. And I'm sitting shotgun one day, and You know,
the
if
aux?
you're sitting shotgun, you got aux, you're passenger princess, and you gotta get some bangers for everybody in the car, and keep vibes alive, because it can easily get. You're going on 12-hour road trips, and it gets boring real quick. So I'm like, I gotta keep vibes up in here. I gotta know my crowd, know my audience, mixture, guys, girls, all variations of what they like, don't like, artists, all that. So, but I had to go with it to keep vibes alive. I searched up. They said, "All right, Dakota, what are you gonna play?" I said, "Just you wait." I typed on Spotify. I said, "White girl bangers."
Oh gosh, party
Let
in the
me tell you.
USA.
Let me tell you, they laughed. I said, I'll tell you exactly. I type it in. Someone's like, he just searched up white girl bangers. Ha ha. And I was like, oh yeah. I just put shuffle. I put shuffle. Let me tell you.
It was the best time I had.
They thought it was funny at first, and then that whole car was rocking. Hands were going everywhere. It was a vibe. And I was like, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of Tay-Tay, a little bit of My Lai.
That's when you say you'll appreciate me later.
Exactly.
You gotta experience.
And the vibes were up the whole time, the whole car ride, all of that. So I mean, it was great. Yeah. And so who's laughing now?
See, you fulfilled your purpose of a passenger princess.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing.
What is the purpose of? Yeah.
Well, that's one thing though. Like with passenger princess, one of my pet peeves is like if you're sitting shotgun with somebody, it is your responsibility to sit there and keep them awake, or like keep them.
If it's a long car ride.
Yeah, help them navigate, help them. And there's times that you can nap, but I think it's a big red flag if you're napping while being a passenger princess. Like you got to know.
If it's only y'all two in the car.
Yeah, if it's only. Well, but even if it's not, even if there's more people in the car, unless you just know, like, y'all made up in your mind, like, hey, they're going to keep them up, but they're in the back. Like, no, get out of the shotgun seat. If you're not going to keep them up, get in the back and sleep. Like, you shotgun passenger princess, you got to keep up your driver, especially on road trips. Makes me so mad when people just sit there, or you're on your phone. Just
Now, I will say a great passenger princess, they definitely, keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
But I will say a very trait that might be almost, more important is that having great conversations, but knowing when to, kind of not talk. Because you can talk all the time, but sometimes like you can have a good conversation and just chill and go down the road for about a song or two.
That's true. You gotta read the vibes. You definitely gotta be have some discernment, because if you're both jamming to songs or they're jamming to song, you gotta understand what the driver wants at that time. But also, like, if I'm saying more like on a long road trip late at night or whatever. Like even when we went to Nashville, like I knew my role at that night was just to keep you up. I mean, that one Ghost Bang energy drink, whatever.
It only got me so far.
The Ghost only got you so far, and then it's just pure grit, strength, and communication at that point.
That's the crazy thing with that thing. The first hour, it was a 4-hour drive, but the first
like
hour,
4.5.
Yeah. We left at like 10 o'clock. The time span, like between 10:30 and 11:30 was the hardest. But, 11:30 to 3 a.m., it was the easiest thing. You never would think.
Yeah, no, it was wild. Now, I'm not going to lie. You said you were chilling at the end. I was not chilling. I was sitting there just shotgun. You were doing your thing, but I was just like, you were doing your thing. I was just trying to like keep conversation going, but because I drove all the way there.
Yeah.
And I stayed up the whole time. And then on the way back, I was like, I stayed up the whole time, but I was trying to like, keep the vibes alive. But that last hour, I was just like, I was in a delusion.
No, the thing is.
And then I'm sitting there like rocking back and forth, like, trying to do anything. Yeah.
The thing is, we get back home and it's 3:30 in the morning. This man wants to watch Love Is Blind. Like you said, I thought you were tired.
Look, here's the thing though, and if you know, like, okay, you after that though, you're in a car for so long. Once you then get out of a car for 5 hours, the last thing you like are really thinking about is, hey, I just want to sit down and do nothing. Yeah. Like. No, I was wide at that point, and then we had watched Love Is Blind before, and I was at a cliffhanger. You can't leave a brother at a cliffhanger. I got to go and know what's going on.
See what Jessica's doing.
Yeah, and then Jessica and what's her mega fanat, and then it's just like whatever. So, anyways, but yeah, so that was our time, and so be a good passenger princess basically, because there's not a lot. It's hard to find out there,
Oh, yeah. Passenger princesses for sure.
Good passenger princesses is a must-have. So, but yeah, I think we killed it.
We could have ripped some more. But,
I mean, we could have.
We don't want to throw everything out there. We got to let y'all. We got to leave them on a cliffhanger.
We just went where the Lord took us.
That's right.
All right, and nowhere else. So, but yeah. So make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, put that notification bell on. Subscribe. 92% of y'all are not subscribed. I'm tired of it. But yeah, so thanks. And Coda's Crib out. We out.
Glory to